Hi, I'm Justin, and with my classmate Juliana, we researched the impact of Facebook in proliferating anti-Rohingya disinformation in Myanmar. The first thing to consider is the general connection between technology and disinformation, specifically with social media. More than two-thirds of people in highly connected countries get their news from social media platforms, which gives users the opportunity to spread disinformation to large audiences. These sites use algorithms to optimize and direct content that draws views and interaction in order to maximize ad revenue. This means incendiary content is often prominently displayed and shared. In addition, the very nature of social media and the internet at large is open and allows virtually any person with the internet to post content without significant security to verify who the user actually is. Next, we'll be covering our topic in depth, the use of Facebook to spread anti-Rohingya disinformation, and its connection to ethnic cleansing in Myanmar. The Rohingya are a Muslim ethnic minority group that has historically been oppressed in Myanmar. The military began running fake and personal Facebook accounts in the early 2010s as part of an operation spreading anti-Rohingya disinformation to justify and incite ethnic cleansing against them. This disinformation was made possible because of telecommunications deregulation in 2013, which made cell phone and internet use cheap enough that over 4% of Myanmar is on Facebook today, and allowed for the first wave of anti-Rohingya disinformation. The military spread disinformation by first creating pop culture-related accounts that gained large audiences and then posted anti-Rohingya disinformation. Troll accounts then shared and commented on these posts to amplify them. And this disinformation usually revolved around accusations of murder, sexual assault, terrorism, illegal immigration, and invasion, as well as general Islamophobia. And this is the timeline of some later significant events. In 2014, riots against a Muslim tea shop owner was the first major attack caused by anti-Rohingya disinformation on Facebook. In August 2017, an attack by Rohingya insurgents on police stations led to the military intensifying its disinformation and ethnic cleansing campaigns. A year later, media coverage and controversy finally led to Facebook taking action. And now we're going to explain some of the measures taken to stop the disinformation by the government, Facebook, and other parties. There is little to no action from the Myanmar government, where the military has autonomy, and the civilian leader Aung San Suu Kyi denied the scale of the genocide. In the U.S., Mark Zuckerberg was questioned by Congress, but there has been no actual action from the U.S. government yet. One government that is taking action is from the Gambia, which brought a lawsuit against Myanmar for genocide in the International Court of Justice.
So now I'm going to be talking a little bit about Facebook's actions. So Facebook finally began taking down accounts linked to the military in 2018. And after the controversy, Facebook pledged to hire 100 Burmese-speaking content moderators and ordered a human rights assessment report of its impact on Myanmar, and also made algorithms detecting disinformation and hate speech more capable of handling the Burmese language. Facebook also relied heavily on outside organizations and volunteers to actually search for disinformation and flag it. The people who moderated this content were usually outside contractors, and journalists were also crucial to exposing anti-Rohingya disinformation on Facebook. So now I'm going to be talking about the impact that disinformation had on society, business, politics, and the economy. So its impact on society is that the disinformation justified and incited a campaign of military-sponsored violence against the Rohingya that led to a refugee crisis, genocide, and ethnic cleansing. 700,000 Rohingya fled Myanmar to escape violence, and over 25,000 Rohingya died. As for its impact of business, Facebook's role in Myanmar has raised questions about its failure to fight disinformation and pressures to improve its content practices or otherwise face regulations. Facebook's Myanmar controversy has furthered public distrust of the platform after numerous scandals involving disinformation and hate speech. Its impact on politics and the economy. So Myanmar's economic growth has slowed significantly due to foreign investment and business with Myanmar diminishing as a result of sanctions and its falling international reputation. In Bangladesh has had a refugee crisis, with many Bangladeshis complaining about losing their jobs and inflation. Tourism in Bangladesh was also displaced by Rohingya refugee camps. So we came up with 4 recommendations for countering disinformation based on Facebook's impact in Myanmar. So first, Facebook and other platforms should optimize their content moderation practices for foreign languages. This means hiring content moderators and employees fluent in these languages, as well as adapting AI and other algorithms to process foreign languages. Second, platforms like Facebook should also be more proactive in actually searching for disinformation instead of just relying on volunteers to flag it. This makes taking down disinformation more effective and efficient. Third, social media platforms also need to provide sufficient resources for content moderation. So in the past, Facebook usually contracted content moderation to outside contractors with limited resources and moderators. Then consistent enforcement Facebook showed toward non-government groups as well as unclear guidelines for moderator also shows the necessity for a clear set of content standards. And fourth, share how content is moderated with third parties receive and accept criticism. So the African country, the Gambia, pressed charges against Myanmar in international courts for genocide and asked Facebook for evidence, and Facebook refused to provide information on accounts run by the military. So to restore public trust and improve its content moderation, Facebook needs to accept feedback from outside organizations, NGOs, governments, and many more. So thank you for listening, and I hope you all have a great day.